Hello, everyone. Welcome to How to Avoid Being Bullied Online. Whether you're a parent or a professional, we are going to talk today about a few tips you can use if you want to protect yourself and your kids. I've got my good friend Dana Mantilia here, and I'm Josh Oakes. Hey, Dana, welcome. Tell people a little bit about what you do.
Hello, Josh. So my name is Dana Mantilia, and I am the founder of Identity Protection Planning. And we try to help people protect themselves from identity theft and cyber crimes and create awareness of all the free little tips that are out there that can help them.
Yeah, and you do really great. Your LinkedIn is blowing up. I'm so proud of you. All right, so you've got a lot of cyber safety stuff, but today we're talking about some digital safety, how to avoid bullying online. So talk to me real quick. What city and state are you from, Dana?
Madison, Connecticut.
Okay, that's amazing. And where can people find you before we get started?
Well, you can always find me on LinkedIn, and also our website is identityprotectionplanning.com. You can go there and send me a message. That's probably the best options.
Awesome. All right, let's dive on into it. Now, online bullying. I want to talk to everybody just really quickly about, I'm going to give a couple tips. Dana's got a couple tips. First of all, I was talking to a celebrity yesterday. She's being badly bullied. And I had this crazy tip for her podcast. I said, look, reading the comments is going to create a problem for you because you're going to get emotionally involved. And I told her about a story when I ran for city council in a suburb of Los Angeles many years ago. I was the youngest guy on the ballot. Two people were bullying badly, were blogging badly about every single one of the candidates, Dana. And they all wrote really negatively about him. And then they heard that I was on the ballot. Youngest guy there, most enthusiastic, positive. I was nonpartisan. The whole race was nonpartisan, but I was like knocking on doors. And they started picking on me the most because I was the youngest, the fresh blood, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I was telling her is that the blogging that they were doing really hurts as an adult. It hurts. So any adults out there, if you feel that, it hurts, tell a friend. Number two, it was changing my Google results. So I told her, I said, consider not reading the comments, but instead consider having a best friend or someone in the office or someone on your team or your spouse or whatever, read the comments for you. And this is one of the things I did. And is I had a friend kind of read some of the stuff and then relay it to me. And it was an easy blow. It was like, oh, that's easy. Oh, they said I'm ugly. Okay, that's fine. I mean, who cares? It makes it a lot less personal because it's coming through somebody you really trust that you allow in your life. So that's one tip I was given this celeb yesterday is just, hey, consider having somebody else. You're way too emotionally involved in this. Also, one more thing, Dana, that I tell the team is haters are a good sign. I try to remind myself this all the time because you and I, Dana, both have a platform of helping people. We don't sell, we serve. We make free videos everywhere like we're doing today. And so what I'm always telling people is, when somebody is rampantly just hating on us, I go, good. We actually need more haters because if you think about people, if you think about a circle full of all the people that you're reaching, there's going to be a few bad apples in there. And the more bad apples means the more that the size of the circle is, right? It means the more, because you're probably doing good work. So I always tell my team, good, okay, we got a hater, that's great. We should have one a week because that means we're reaching the amount of people and we're saving lives and doing this really good stuff. And it kind of gets people to smile and they go, huh, that is a different way of looking at that. And we go, and then you can nurture them. All right, now you've got a tip. Walk us through this tip, Dana.
Okay, so you don't want to get hung up on the comments. Is this when you want me to do my power puffs or no, not yet?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Okay. What have you got? Tell us how we can focus on being the best you.
So this is a lot easier said than done, but at least if we can start here, this is a good little thing, okay? So these are my power puffs, right? And they are magical. And if anybody wants some, just let me know and I'll send them to you. So what you do is you take them and you put them in your ears. And then you can't listen to the good or the bad. So when people are like, oh, you're so awesome, that's fantastic. You're like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Just like when someone's like, you really are a loser. Like, oh, sorry, I can't hear you. So these are good for kids and for adults, because what it does is it helps you stay in your lane. So you're focusing on how to be the best you, and not focusing on what's the cool thing to do, or, what's someone not going to make fun of me for. So it gives you the self-esteem to say, you know what, I am going to put that video out on LinkedIn. I am going to do something that makes me a little bit uncomfortable, because you're not going to hear any of the good or the bad. You're just going to be able to give you the focus to stay here.
I love that. And I just updated the slides with something new, because what you're really saying, Dana, is focus being on the best you. With students, it's set a goal. And at Smart Social, we teach every kid, what's your goal on your career, your college, your internship? Stop using this as a pastime, because if you just pick up this phone, and adults, we're the same way, right? And that's why Dana's tip of focus on being the best you is great, because if somebody's really complimentary, you're going to get all hung up on that. Oh, that's neat. But if they're also the same way, if they're negative, but if you have a goal of what do you want to accomplish, whatever that is for your life, but being the best you is probably a great place to start. Then you're going to be focused on your little, I can't take you seriously right now. I love this. I love this. They look like big marshmallows. Pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. All right. So, walk us through how you respond to people.
Well, I do, of course, I get some negative comments out there, and I just try to look at it as, I would never say that to somebody. When somebody sends this nasty comment to me and I read it, and it is hurtful, but then I say to myself, I would never say that to somebody. So what's up with this person? And typically, if you look a little bit deeper into that person and some of the other activities that they've done, other comments that they've done that's on a social media platform, you'll see that there's a trend that, they're probably not a happy person, and, making fun of somebody or poking holes at somebody makes them feel good. So that's what, that's not, so we got to just think about that. So you don't pay much attention to it. Don't respond to it in a negative way. Just respond to it as, I'm sorry you feel that way, and I hope you have a great day. And then they hate that, because they want to go at it. They want you to come back at them and, start a little.
Yeah. And one of the things I told people that when I was running for political office, and I teach students now, is if they could be really mean to you, they could troll. Trolling means they're putting a hook out there and they're running around the ocean just waiting for something to bite, right? They'll say something that you want to answer and explain why they're wrong. But it's not what they ever say to you. It's how you respond to them that will end up on the news. So it's you going, no, you don't understand. You're a jerk, and blah, blah, blah. They would put Josh Oakes on the news with that. Digital safety guy teaches kids how to be light, bright, and polite, responds with profanity, right? Stuff like that. Oh, no, but you don't understand. They were trolling me. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's not what they say to you. It's how you respond that's going to get on the news. They're never going to include that first tweet. So I love what you're saying here. I'm sorry you feel that way. It's also an internal way of me saying, haha, when I say that, it's really your feelings that you're putting on me. It's not who I really am, right? And with your little powder puff things, it's so true. You're basically saying, I can't hear your negativity, which I love. All right. You also had a really great point. If it upsets us this much, it's because we would perhaps never say that to somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Some of these read it and say to yourself, would you ever go on somebody's post and say something? And that's why it hurts us so much, because we would never do something like that. But there are people out there that do that, and we just can't get too hung up on that.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I think it's important to note. Also, you have another tip. Have these conversations with your kids early. Talk to us about that.
So this is, if we can have these conversations early, and even if it's, your kids are a little older, just start right today. Good time to have a conversation, and just tell them that every single person is going to go through bullying at some point in their life, and it is going to hurt. You're going to have that hot flash through your whole body. You're going to feel mortified by whatever the situation is. And if you can tell that to somebody, they're going to, when they do experience it, they'll say, oh, you know what, this is what my mom or my dad or, whoever was talking about. Now I know what it's like. Now I know, because they told me everybody goes through this. It lessens the blow a little bit. And then if you say to them, and if it ever does happen and you want to come talk to me, please feel free to. Just want you to know that that person is not a happy person. And at least you can maybe get the conversation going when they know that everybody goes through it, and that you have told them that you are there to talk to them if they want to talk to them.
Yeah, be vulnerable with those around you, parents, if this is happening to you. Also, tell your kids to tell a trusted adult. And you know what? One of our tips at Smart Social is if your kids don't want to come to you, perhaps they would instead go to that cool uncle or aunt or somebody who's a trusted adult who can also keep a secret, but is going to give valuable advice. Just another idea. It takes a village, and people that, a lot of people think that they can do this on their own. Unfortunately, they can't. It really does take a village. And if you feel like you have to raise your kids alone, you might be overwhelming yourself. We talk to a lot of people like, I got to do this. No, you've got other people involved that can do some really, really great things. Hey, Dana, I want to thank you today for joining us here today. What other tips do you have for people, or maybe some professionals in their online stuff as they're posting?
Well, I really liked what you said about having somebody else read the comments, because you're right. When somebody else is reading them, they're like, oh boy, we got a nasty one over here saying this, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't hurt you as much as when you just read it, coldly like that. But I would say if you're really trying to do something and you're just being held back because of that intimidation of, oh, maybe it's not going to go over too well. When I first started doing my LinkedIn videos, I put them out there. I got 0 likes, 0 views, nothing. So I'd sit there, put the video, I'd go back and I'd look and I'd say, oh, this is embarrassing, but I got to keep going. So that's what I did. I kept going and going and going. And it does get easier to do too, right? So then you kind of lose that fear of the whole thing of people aren't going to like this, no one's going to like it, or whatever, comment on it or anything. So go for it. No better time than now. Especially,
just a little side note, if you're helping people, it's a great thing. So I always ask, does it have positivity and gratitude? If you're just complaining, if it gets a little political, right? This isn't political, me talking about political, but if it's a negative rant, what's the solution in it? I'm oftentimes asking people, like, how is this going to look for your next employer and stuff like that? So could it be seen as bullying another side or just being a negative rant? So important. How do we stay productive online and positive in any way possible? Dana, thank you so much for your time today and for your powder puff ears. You're delightful.
So listen, so what happens is I'll send these. If anybody wants them, they're free. I'll send them to you. But they're the Power Puffs with the glitter, and there's a little message in there. So maybe if your kid is going through a tough time or whatever, it kind of lightens the way to start the conversation by saying, hey, listen, here's some Power Puffs. They're magical. And then they open it up. They can read. There's a little thing in there. So if anybody wants any, just message me and I'll send them to you.
That's adorable. I absolutely love it. Thanks everybody for watching here today. How to avoid online bullying. It's not just for kids. It's not just for adults. It's for humans. Sometimes people are a little rough out there, and the internet lets us, unfortunately, say some things that might not be so nice. So thanks everybody. We'll see you all very soon. You can learn more at smartsocial.com. Special thanks to Dana today. Bye guys. Have a great day.